Ladies and gentlemen, Senator Tommy Tuberville, Coach Tommy Tuberville, is back. Last time we made a video about Tommy Tuberville, you guys absolutely loved his speech. He's got another speech. I'm Tall the Traveling Clad, your favorite white colonizing Zionizer. This land that I'm in right now was promised to me 3,000 years ago, and if you want the land to be promised to you 3,000 years ago, I highly suggest you go to thetravelingclad.com and buy some merch, and let's get right into this speech.
Mr. President, I come to the floor today to talk about two bills I recently introduced to shut down Sharia law in this country. I ruffled some feathers a few weeks ago when I came to the Senate floor to talk about what I believe is the greatest national security threat facing the United States of America: radical Islam and Sharia law. The Democrats and the mainstream media, they've been coming after me ever since I started talking about this subject. But after spending 40 years coaching, I don't really care what people think about me. I love this country, and I want to save this country for our kids and our grandkids. You know, I was back in Alabama this weekend, and I heard from countless Alabamians who told me they are 100% behind what I'm talking about. At the end of the day, I work for the great people of Alabama and the great people of this country, not the pearl-clutching media that is out there hammering me every day. Speaking of Alabama, I'm proud that the Yellowhammer State banned Sharia law a long time ago. For too long, people have been afraid to call out radical Islam for what it is. Because if you dare to speak out, the left will come after you, your family, your reputation, and your job. They'll try to ruin your life just because they disagree with you.
Correct.
That's how they play the game.
This is true.
One of the radical left's go-to tactics is to accuse anyone who disagrees with them as being a racist, a bigot, or intolerant. They've tried that with me, calling me an Islamophobe for calling out the evils of Islam.
This is true.
But there's only one problem with that strategy. One, radical Islam isn't a race, it's an ideology. It's a choice. And I would argue it is a cult.
He's 100% correct about this as well.
I'm not an Islamophobe. If you want to peacefully practice your religion, that's fine with me. That's what our Constitution gives you the right to do. Our Constitution gives you that right, and that's why we have millions of Christians, Jews, Mormons, Hindus, Buddhists, and peaceful Muslims who worship freely in this great country of ours called the United States of America. But if you come here, you are expected to assimilate to our country and our values. I recently saw a stat that absolutely shocked me. We have 42 million people in this country that are on food stamps. 42 million. You would think these people are just Americans who have fallen on hard times, which is who the program is for. But a disproportionate amount of these 42 million people are immigrants. 45% of Afghanistani immigrants are on food stamps. 42 of the Somalian immigrants are on food stamps. And 59% of all illegal aliens are collecting food stamps. 59%. So clearly, these people are not coming here and assimilating in our America way of life by working hard and taking care of your family. What an idea. They are coming here to mooch off the American taxpayer. It's wrong, and we need to call it out. But beyond the taxpayer concerns, this religion is also fundamentally incompatible with our Western values, so wake up, America. The Quran instructs Islamists to fight Jews and Christians, along with anyone else who doesn't believe in Allah. Simply put, radical Islam teaches that it is righteous to kill Christians. It's righteous. There's no peaceful coexistence with this type of people. None. Just look at the Middle East and North Africa, where Christians and Jews are being slaughtered by the thousand. Where's our media? Where are they at?
Nowhere.
More than 7,000 Christians have been slaughtered by radical Muslims in Nigeria so far this year. 7,000. That's 35 people that have been killed every day this year. Where's the mainstream media? How come they're not talking about that? Radical Islam demands complete obedience, complete, 100%, and will kill you if you dare to speak out against their beliefs and ideologies. This isn't anything new. Muslims have been fighting to wipe out Christians and Jews for centuries. But now the problem isn't just confined to faraway Middle East. It's happening right here in our backyard in 50 states. We're already seeing cities in Michigan, Minnesota being taken over by Sharia law. In Dearborn, Michigan, a Christian pastor recently protested a street was named after a radical Islamist terrorist. Pastor just complained about it. In response, the Muslim mayor of Dearborn told the pastor that he is no longer welcome in the town and will celebrate the day that he leaves. Think about that. A Christian pastor is being silenced here in America for objecting to a taxpayer-funded road being named after a terrorist. We're losing it. Or take what has been happening in Minneapolis, Minnesota, which has been and seen a massive influx of Somalians moving into their neighborhood. I recently saw a story that absolutely shocked me. More than 75 Somalians have been arrested in a massive scheme where they stole $300 million from a American taxpayer-funded child nutrition program. $300 million. So these Somalian criminals came to Minneapolis. They took advantage of our free schools and our free health care, and then they stole $300 million from American taxpayers right under our noses. Where is the media? Where's the outrage? And where did this money go? Where do you think it went? You guessed it. It went back to Somalia. It's disgusting, and these people should be deported, if not jail for life. In case you're still unclear about the dangers we're facing, here are a few reasons why Sharia law does not work in a Western society like the United States. In America, we value free speech. The U.S. Constitution gives us that right. The First Amendment is what makes this country, America, great. You're allowed to express your opinions publicly without fear of the government arresting you or killing you. But under Sharia law, any criticism that goes against what Muhammad or the Quran says can be punishable by death. Further, under the U.S. Constitution and the First Amendment, equal rights for people of all faiths are protected. Western culture treats everyone equal, regardless of their religious beliefs. Under Sharia law, if you are not a Muslim, you are treated as the enemy. Radical Islam says you can discriminate against and even be violent towards non-Muslims. We see that happening now in Europe, where non-Muslims are being violently attacked every day.
Correct.
All over Europe. It's because Sharia law not only accepts but encourages this type of disgusting behavior. Another major difference between Islam and our Western culture is the way we treat women. In the U.S., marriage happens when a man and woman mutually decide that they want to get married and be with each other. But under Sharia law, older men are allowed to marry 6-year-old girls, which is unbelievable. 6 years old. That's not marriage. In America, we call that pedophilia. But that's just scraping the surface. In Sharia law, women are sold, raped, trafficked, No problem to them. That's their way of life. Women are not allowed to get an education or have a job. They aren't even allowed to leave home without a man escorting them. And women are forced to wear burqas, which cover basically everything but their eyes. Meanwhile, men are allowed to have multiple wives, marry children, and do not have to cover their heads. It makes your blood boil. Not to mention the horrible way that minorities are treated in countries that follow Sharia law. There's no tolerance in these countries. If you live in a country that practices Sharia law and are not Muslim, you're lucky if you aren't thrown in jail or killed. That's because Islam and Sharia law teach that you must hate non-Muslims and should wage jihad, which literally means holy war against people who do not believe. One thing I find particularly ironic is how the left turns a blind eye to the horrible ways LGBT people are treated in countries that follow Sharia law. In countries like Iran, Saudi Arabia, and Yemen, gay people are often given the death penalty. Does that sound like a peaceful, tolerant religion to you? Not me. Unfortunately, this poisonous religion, which I think is closer to a cult, is rapidly growing in this country. Wake up, America. Look no farther than New York, where a radical Islamist, Zohan Mandami, is the front runner to become the next mayor. Mandami has tried everything he can do to hide his radical Islamic beliefs ever since he started campaigning. But he was recently seen in a photo with a co-conspirator of the 1993 World Trade Center bombing. Think about that. And they're getting ready to elect him mayor. The leading candidate for mayor of New York City is cozying up with an openly jihadist terrorist sympathizer. Where are we going? In New York, if New Yorkers are stupid enough to elect a radical Islamist as their mayor, then they deserve what they get next, and it is coming.
I agree with that 100%.
I truly believe we're at the crossroads of this country.
100%.
The time for political correctness is over. That's why I've introduced two bills in the Senate to end Sharia law in this country. End it. The first one is No Sharia Act, which makes it illegal to practice Sharia law when it conflicts with our Constitution. As I've repeatedly said, the radical Islam cult is the opposite of everything. I mean everything that we stand for in America.
That's true.
The second bill I introduced, the Preserving a Sharia Law or Sharia-Free America Act, prevents all foreign nationals who advocate for Sharia law from entering this country. No more. If you want to practice that, stay where you're at or go to one of the other 50 countries that practices this. The Trump administration banned people from nearly 50 Muslim countries during the first administration. And thanks to Joe Biden's 4 years of open borders, we now have thousands, I mean thousands of terrorists and their sympathizers who entered our country unchecked. How stupid was that? We have to shut off the spigot before it's too late. This is a major national security threat. Radical Islamists have proven over and over again that they are willing to do whatever it takes to kill just one American citizen. And it didn't just happen overseas. It has been allowed to fester and is alive and well in our very own country, just waiting for the right opportunity to attack. So now is the time to act, because if we don't, we're going to lose this country as we know it. Open your eyes, America. The values of this country was built on cannot coexist with radical Islam. It doesn't work. It's one, our Constitution, or the other. You can't mix them. This isn't a Republican or Democrat issue. This is an American issue. Just look at Europe. We are headed down the same dark path as what Europe's going through now if we don't wake up. We need to permanently shut down Sharia law in this country before it's too late. Wake up, America.
Ladies and gentlemen,
President, I yield the floor.
Ladies and gentlemen, if anybody has any connection to Coach Tommy Tuberville, to Senator Tommy Tuberville, you know, we've had some high-profile guests on the channel recently, like Tommy Robinson. I would love to interview Tommy Tuberville on the channel. If anybody knows him personally and is willing to make the connection between the two of us who's watching this, please, you guys have done it for me before. It would be my honor to have him on, somebody who's really sobering sentiment on radical Islam in America. I think it's so important. First of all, go follow him, obviously go give him a follow, because it really is, from the U.S. administration, so sobering to see a politician speaking like this. But from the other perspective, if anybody has a direct connection to him, please make a connection between the two of us. I would love to bring him onto the channel, to give him a platform to talk deeper about this stuff and ask him some questions that I'm curious about on how he sees the future of America with this ongoing threat. Ladies and gentlemen, I come to you here on a daily basis and show you guys the warning signs. I am living proof of somebody, okay, who is a descendant of a survivor of Islamism, of jihadism, of Sharia law. You know, in Iraq in the 1940s, when our family was ethnically cleansed under a Sharia-like system, and over 1 million, or almost 1 million, Mizrahi Jews from all over the Middle East were persecuted and ethnically cleansed from their homes. What was the first community after the Jews that they pointed their eyes to? The Christians. Every single Christian should take this ideology in fear. Every single Christian should fear this ideology. The Christians all over the Middle East, whether it be in Lebanon, in Syria, in Iraq, in Iran, in Egypt, in Jordan, in Palestine, whatever the fuck Palestine is, every single place they have suffered since the Jews were expelled. Every single place. They went from the Jews straight to the Christians. First the Saturday people, then the Sunday people. We are in this existential fight as Jews and Christians together. The faster you Christians understand that that is the situation we are in, the better for all of us. You need to understand that as much conspiracy theories as you or your friends may have about the Jews controlling the world and your banks and all this stuff, you got to remember there is a way bigger evil and a way scarier and a way more dangerous evil out there that is here to take over all of us. And it is not going to differentiate between somebody who controls the banks and somebody who wants to go to church on Sunday and shoot their shotgun and go hunting and fishing. They're not going to differentiate. An infidel is an infidel. A kuffar is a kuffar. A dhimmi is a dhimmi. Okay? Does that make sense to you? The dhimmi is one who's going to pay the jizya, leave, or die. No ifs, ands, or buts. Now, I hate to force America or say that America has to become more militant in its ideology, but guess what? This is a threat that's coming towards you. It was the same ideology with the Iran war, and you had all these fucking idiots on the woke right saying, no, we can't attack, we can't. You're in this war. Just because you haven't perceived that you started it doesn't mean you're not in it. They perceive that you are their enemy in the war. They're here to fight you. Now, you can choose to fight back or let yourself get taken over. It's your decision at the end of the day. But you got to come to a decision. If you're deciding you're going to raise up your arms and say, okay, the fight's over, we lost this one, then give up now. Why vote in a Trump? Why fight illegal immigration? Why do any of it? But if you're willing to fight, if you're ready to fight, if you want to save your civilization, y'all better get ready, baby. I'll see you in the next one. I love you guys a long time. Goodbye, class. Man, these comment sections are insane. What do you mean? Literally every comment is just like making fun of Jewish people, saying some stupid shit like it was promised to them 3,000 years ago, kicked out of 109 countries, white colonizers, and then a bunch of Jews in the comment section getting triggered and calling it anti-Semitism. It's bringing me down. Okay, well here, take this. What's this? It's a white colonizer shirt from thetravelingclat.com. And here, take a matching hat. Why do you want me to wear this? Because when we laugh in their faces, it triggers them more. Like for example, my grandparents were kicked out of Baghdad, Iraq. Right. So guess what? I'm your Baghdaddy. Get it? And boom, here's a hat with a kube on it. So you're saying when they make fun of us, just wear it? Precisely. What will trigger the stupid pro-pallies more than you proudly joining the 109 club for being kicked out of 109 countries? Or are you openly embracing being a white colonizer? Or even just acknowledging that everything was promised to you 3,000 years ago? Don't run from it. Embrace it. Bet. TheTravelingClat.com. Embrace the meme, embrace the Jew hatred, and laugh in their face. TheTravelingClat.com. If you don't want to buy any merchandise, the best way to support me is by donating on Buy Me a Coffee, my PayPal, or becoming a member on my Patreon. Your support is very much needed and very much appreciated. Thank you.